In the busy heart of Lagos, where noise never sleeps and the smell of roasted corn drifts through the evening air, twin girls were born, Ivy and Iris. From the very beginning, they were impossible to ignore. Their beauty was breathtaking, but what caught everyone's eye was their hair. Long, dark, thick, and smooth like flowing silk, it shimmered under the sunlight as if it had a life of its own. Their mother, Agnes, treated their hair like a treasure. Every Sunday morning, she would sit them down in front of their small mirror, rub warm coconut oil between her palms, and gently massage their scalps. The sweet scent of shea butter filled the room as she carefully parted, stretched, and braided their hair into neat, intricate styles that made the twins look like princesses from an old African story. At the market, women would stop and stare. Agnes, your daughter's fine no be small oh, they would say. Some even joked, just dash me one of them, abeg. The twins would giggle, hiding behind their mother's wrapper, while strangers admired their glossy black hair that danced with every step they took. At church, the admiration only grew. After service, women would surround the girls, taking turns touching and complimenting their hair, or, "This hair soft past baby skin," one woman once said, running her fingers gently through the curls. Their mother would smile proudly. She never missed a chance to tell anyone who asked, "It's all natural. No relaxer, just coconut oil and care." Life was perfect, and for a long time, Ivy and Iris believed it would always stay that way. When the twins started school, they instantly became everyone's favorites. Teachers adored them, boys followed them around the playground, and girls admired them so much they began asking their mothers for the same hairstyles that the twins plaited. The twins were inseparable. They wore the same ribbons, the same dresses, and even finished each other's sentences. Whenever there was a school event, be it dance, debate, or cultural day, the teachers always chose the twins to represent the class. Their matching beauty and charm made them stand out everywhere they went. But one sunny afternoon changed everything. During break time, Ivy got into a small argument with a classmate named Amoka over a skipping rope. "Give me my turn." Ivy demanded. "No. You always take it first." Amoka shot back. The exchange grew heated, and before anyone could intervene, Amoka grabbed a handful of Ivy's long hair and yanked with all her strength. A loud cry cut through the air. Ivy screamed as a chunk of her precious hair tore from her scalp, leaving a visible bald patch. The other children gasped. Some stood frozen, others whispered in shock. Amoka dropped the strands in her hand, realizing what she'd done. Ivy ran home crying, clutching her head. When Agnes saw the damage, she nearly fainted. "Jesus! My daughter's hair," she cried, touching the uneven patches. They rushed to Mama Kemi's salon, the best in the neighborhood, hoping something could be done. But after one look, Mama Kemi sighed deeply. "Madam, this one no get solution. We'll have to cut it all even. That's the only way." Ivy shook her head, tears streaming down her face. "No, Mommy, please. Don't cut it. I'll hide it with scarf." But her mother's eyes were full of pain. "My baby, there's no choice. It has to be even." The scissors clicked. And with every snip, Ivy felt like a piece of her pride was being taken away. By the time they left the salon, her once glorious hair was gone. She couldn't even look at herself in the mirror. The next morning, Ivy returned to school, hoping things would go back to normal. But as soon as she entered the classroom, whispers followed her. "Is that really Ivy? She looks like a boy now. No be that fine girl we get long hair before." Laughter echoed behind her as she sat down. It was like the world had suddenly turned cold. Even her favorite teacher, who used to praise her every day, now barely noticed her. At lunch, no one wanted to sit with her. The same girls who used to braid her hair now ignored her completely. It was as if all her beauty, all her importance, had disappeared with her hair. When she got home, Iris tried to cheer her up. "Ivy, don't worry. It will grow back soon, she said sweetly. But then she giggled playfully. For now, you look like a boy sure. Ivy froze. The words cut deeper than she expected. She turned away silently, but that night, she cried until her pillow was soaked. Months passed. Ivy's hair began to grow slowly, but her confidence never recovered. Meanwhile, Iris's hair grew longer and more beautiful, and soon another opportunity came knocking. A talent agency announced a modeling competition for girls with natural long hair. When Ivy saw the poster, her heart skipped. That could be my chance, she whispered, clutching the flyer. She begged her mother to let her join. But by the time she submitted her application, her hair was still too short. When the agency replied, the words broke her heart. Sorry, we can't accept you. The competition is for long natural hair only. Agnes looked at Iris, then back at the flyer. Iris, you'll go in Ivy's place, she said matter-of-factly. Iris's eyes widened. But mommy, it's Ivy's dream. She'll understand, her mother insisted. This is an opportunity we can't waste. Ivy watched silently as her sister prepared for the competition that was meant to be hers. She didn't protest, not out of agreement, but because her heart was too heavy for words. Iris went on to win the contest. Within months, she became a local sensation, the hair princess of Lagos. Posters of her face and her glossy braids appeared everywhere. And every time Ivy saw one, her chest tightened with quiet pain. When the twins turned 15, the family moved to Victoria Island to help Iris's career grow. Their new home was bigger, fancier, filled with framed photos of Iris from magazines and billboards. At their new school, it was the same story, everyone knew Iris. Everyone wanted to be her friend. Ivy, however, became invisible. Whenever she entered a room, people whispered, "That's her twin sister, the one without the hair." Even teachers favored Iris. One day, during a class award presentation, Ivy overheard two girls whisper, "She's just jealous of her sister. If I were her, I'd hide my face." That night, Ivy confronted Iris. "You stole my life," she said bitterly. Iris looked confused. "What are you talking about? I never asked for this." "But you didn't say no either," Ivy snapped before storming out. Iris sat quietly, tears filling her eyes. She never meant to hurt her sister, but she didn't know how to fix what fame had broken. Tired of living in her sister's shadow, Ivy decided to chase a new dream. She joined her school's drama club, pouring all her emotions into acting. On stage, she found a place where she could exist, where no one compared her to Iris. When she told her mother about her dream of becoming an actress, Agnes frowned. "Acting? You want to waste your time on that? Focus on something useful like your sister's career." Those words stung deeply. The same mother who once adored them equally now barely looked at her unless it was about Iris's success. But Ivy refused to give up. She began attending auditions secretly, traveling across Lagos with little money and big dreams. Sometimes she failed. Sometimes she got small roles. But with every performance, she found herself again. One afternoon, Iris received the biggest offer of her career, a major deal with Nigeria's largest natural hair brand. The entire family celebrated, except Ivy, who quietly watched from the corner. Days later, while preparing for her photo shoot, Iris found an invitation card on her dressing table. It was for a small theater play, starring Ivy. The show was on the same day as her big shoot. Iris showed it to her mother. "Mommy, Ivy's play is the same day as my shoot. Can we reschedule?" Agnes waved dismissively. "Don't be ridiculous. That play is nothing. Focus on your shoot. This is business." But for the first time, Iris disagreed. On the day of the shoot, she skipped it and went to Ivy's play instead. The hall was small and packed with students. The lights dimmed, and Ivy stepped onto the stage. Her voice shook at first, but then she began to speak, pouring her heart into every line. The audience was silent, captivated. When the final applause came, Ivy looked into the crowd, and there was Iris, standing with tears streaming down her cheeks. After the show, Ivy ran into her arms. "You came," she whispered. "Of course," Iris replied softly. "I couldn't miss your moment." The next day, Iris rescheduled her shoot. On set, she met a famous Nollywood actor, and they instantly became friends. They took pictures, laughed, and shared stories. But the next morning, her phone exploded with notifications. A private picture of her and the actor had been leaked online, twisting the story into a scandal. Her first thought was Ivy. "She must have leaked it," Iris said angrily. They argued for hours. Ivy swore she had nothing to do with it, but Iris wouldn't believe her. The tension between them grew like wildfire until, one evening, everything came out. It wasn't Ivy. It was their mother. Agnes had leaked the picture to gain more media attention, and had secretly been taking a percentage of Iris's earnings without her knowing. The twins were devastated. For the first time, they stood together against the one person they had both trusted most. After the confrontation, everything changed. Iris fired their mother as her manager and started handling her career on her own. Ivy focused on her acting and began landing bigger roles, finally earning recognition for her own talent. The twins began healing, slowly but surely. Iris apologized sincerely, and Ivy found peace in forgiving her. One evening, as the sun dipped behind the city skyline, they sat in their room together. Iris held a comb and began gently braiding Ivy's growing hair. Ivy smiled faintly. "I forgive you," she whispered. Iris looked up, her eyes shining. "And I'll always be your biggest fan." The two sisters embraced, tears streaming down their faces. The pain, the jealousy, the betrayal, all of it melted away, leaving behind what they had always shared from the beginning, love. And from that day on, Ivy and Iris promised never to let anything, fame, beauty, or pride, come between them again. In the end, Ivy and Iris realized that the real enemy wasn't jealousy, it was the lies that fed it. Sometimes, forgiveness isn't about forgetting what happened, it's about choosing peace. Thank you for watching. If this story touched your heart, please like, share, and subscribe for more African emotional stories that teach and inspire.